Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Alaskan bush people sees Bam Brown's family desert him. Bam Brown is the one person who's been working hard to get his mother's ranch profitable again on Alaskan bush people. Billy Brown died last year, and the wildfires destroyed much of their ranch. With Billy gone, Amy needed help and Bam is the only one really taking this seriously. Here is what happened on the most recent episode of Alaskan Bush People when it comes to Bam Brown helping his mother. He did it almost all by himself. Bam Brown's siblings run out on him when Amy needed help. When the new season started, Noah Brown was working to help his mom Amy get things on the ranch automated. His goal was to help with making it profitable again. However, that is when Noah dropped the bomb on his mother that he was leaving. He planned to go back to Alaska and find a home there to move to with his wife and kids. Gertie then learned she had 2 tumors and had them removed. However, after this happened, she confided to her mom that she hadn't figured out what she was meant to do in her life, so Amy told her to go with Noah to Alaska and remember where she came from. Rain also left to go with them to watch after Birdie. That left Bam, Gabe, and Bear Brown. However, Gabe suddenly decided that he was going to accompany them to Alaska as well. He left the ranch and headed to meet them there to help keep an eye on Birdie on the trip. With Gabe, the true muscle of the Brown siblings done, that left Bam and Bear. In the latest episode of Alaskan Bush People, Bam Brown said that with Gabe and Noah off and both of his sisters with them, the ranch was now running on a skeleton crew. The clips showed Bam working, Rain tending the animals around her and Noah's home, and Bear talking about how much there is to do to help Amy with only a few of them there. He also had his son in his arms and a pregnant wife back home. Amy says Bam is her replacement for Billy at the ranch. Last week, Amy Brown admitted that she realized this was coming. She has been mostly alone since Billy died early in 2021. She can't keep the ranch up on her own, and she mostly relied on Billy before. On last week's Alaskan Bush People episode, Amy said that it was Bam who had stepped up and into Billy's role for her on the ranch. It also makes sense. Noah is the smartest, but he has one foot already out the door. Gabe is the muscle and Bear is up for anything. But to get the ranch profitable and do it right, Bam Brown is all that is left for Amy. Bam Brown, the steady and resolute middle child of the Brown clan, had always been the glue that kept the family grounded. In a world where every day presented new wilderness challenges, his meticulous nature and calm demeanor often served as the much-needed counterbalance to the wild and sometimes erratic energy of his siblings. Bam thrived on order, systems, and predictability, a rare combination in the untamed bush where chaos was the only constant. He took pride in his role, knowing that when things needed to get done, it was his hand guiding the ship. But lately, something was off. Bam felt a creeping sense of isolation he hadn't experienced before. It started subtly at first, small disagreements, whispered conversations he wasn't a part of, decisions made without his input. At first, he brushed it off, telling himself that it was the ebb and flow of family dynamics. They had weathered storms before, and this was just another. One late autumn morning, Bam awoke to the familiar chill of the Alaskan air biting at his skin. As he stepped out of his cabin, the forest seemed quieter than usual. No clanging sounds of tools, no laughter or chatter from his siblings. He glanced toward the clearing where the family usually gathered for morning chores, but it was eerily empty. His breath, visible in the cold air, hung heavy as he made his way toward the center of their homestead. "Hey, anyone around?" he called out, his voice breaking the silence. No response. Bam's heart rate quickened. His mind raced through possibilities, ranging from practical to irrational. Maybe they were out scouting a new location. Maybe there was some emergency that had drawn them away. But deep down, a gnawing feeling told him otherwise. He checked the barn, the workshop, and even the nearby creek where his siblings often fished. Nothing. Not a single trace of their presence. Returning to the clearing, Bam spotted something unusual. A small, crumpled note pinned to the log bench where the family usually gathered. He rushed over and snatched it up, his hands trembling slightly as he unfolded it. The message was brief, hastily scribbled in Rain's handwriting. Asterisk, asterisk, Bam, we had to go. We're sorry. Rain asterisk, asterisk. That was it. No explanation, no details, just a vague apology. Bam felt a wave of anger and confusion crash over him. Where had they gone? And more importantly, why had they left him behind? The wind picked up, rustling through the trees, as Bam stared at the note, his mind swirling. It wasn't like his family to just abandon someone, especially not without a proper reason. They had always faced their challenges together, no matter how difficult things got. He folded the note and tucked it into his jacket, determination setting in. He needed answers. Over the next few days, Bam searched the surrounding areas, tracing the paths his family might have taken. His instincts told him they hadn't gone far, but every trail he followed led to dead ends. The forest, once a familiar sanctuary, now felt vast and alien. The solitude weighed on him like never before, each quiet moment echoing with the absence of his family. At night, the fire crackled weakly in the hearth of his cabin. Bam sat alone, staring into the flames, replaying the events of the past few weeks. It all started to make sense. The distancing, the private conversations, the subtle shifts in their interactions. They had been planning this. But why? As the days turned into weeks, Bam's frustration transformed into introspection. He thought about his role within the family, how his need for structure often clashed with their free-spirited ways. Was he too rigid? Too controlling? Had they grown tired of his constant push for order in a world that didn't conform to his ideals? The questions plagued him, but the answers remained elusive. Winter began to settle in, and with it, the harsh reality of his situation. Without the support of his family, surviving in the bush became a monumental task. The Brown family had always prided themselves on their ability to live off the land, but Bam knew that their strength came from their unity. Alone, even the most capable bushmen would struggle. One morning, after a particularly brutal snowstorm, Bam decided to venture further than he had before. Armed with only his survival kit and his unwavering determination, he headed toward a remote valley his father had once mentioned. A place where they could find refuge in times of danger. It was a long shot, but it was all he had. As he trudged through the snow, the weight of his isolation bore down on him. His thoughts returned to the note, to the wordless departure of his family. He wanted to be angry, to resent them for leaving him behind. But in the quiet of the wilderness, he began to understand something deeper. They hadn't left him out of spite or malice. They had left because they needed space. Space from his constant need for control, from the expectations he imposed on them.